We were on the runway waiting to take off, and another plane was turning, and both wings hit each other. I felt the bump, the strong bump, and of course we were quickly alerted that we had to go back to the gate and go outside. So we're on another flight now back to the city, but I'm glad everybody's okay.
Okay, so were you on a taxiway just off of the runway?
No, we were on the line to sort of like take off as I saw it, and another plane sort of like turned and clipped the wings of our plane.
This plane that turned, I mean, can you explain? You'd think that they would be able to see you. Did you get a sense of perhaps why that happened?
I don't know exactly, but I'm sure that it could have been avoided, as we were, pretty much standing still there, waiting to take off. So we averted a deadly accident, I might say.
To your point about this being avoided, Congressman, we've heard a lot of headlines coming out of Reagan National Airport recently, not only in January with that deadly collision, but also even as of last week, not only a near miss, but also an air traffic controller that was arrested after a so-called incident. There was allegedly a fight, an assault inside the air traffic control tower. What do you think is going on at Reagan National?
You can't make this up. This is unbelievable, and the FAA has to have greater staffing. I'm appalled that funding is being taken away from it, and this is the kind of results that you get when you don't have an agency working at its optimum capacity.
You have the head of the FAA Air Traffic Organization stepping down early. That's part of the voluntary deferred resignation program. We've heard as well about the hours that these air traffic controllers are working. And there are also a number of other issues that are specific to DCA, Congressman, some that may not be specific to DCA. Are you seeing this as kind of a confluence of a number of different things that we are seeing these incidents?
Well, what I can say is that an agency like the FAA that has everybody's safety within an inch of their hands must be fully funded, vigorously funded to avert any deadly accidents and incidents. And you can't half-step an agency as important as this. They should be fully funded.
Congressman, I understand that the group that was on board was bipartisan. I wonder if you had any conversations with some of your colleagues from across the aisle about some congressional action that can come of what you personally just experienced as dysfunction at Reagan National.
Not that kind of conversation. We did talk because, it was a shocking incident, but I'm sure we will do that when we get back.
And what happened when the wings clipped? What was the reaction like inside of the plane? And what did the captain say to you?
You felt it, and you saw the wing actually flopping up and down. So you knew there was a strong contact there. So you felt it really strong. And then when I looked out the window, I was right on the other side of the plane. But at the wing level, I saw the wings flopping up and down. Yes.
And did the captain get on the intercom and talk to you all about what had happened?
Well, they told us that, they were going to take us back to the gate. We waited a little bit. We saw some emergency vehicles near us, and then they took us back to the gate.
And Congressman, I want to follow up on something you said previously and get your thoughts on the way that the White House has framed this issue, because the administration has said that there have been no cuts to air traffic controllers, safety personnel, or safety critical positions at the FAA. Do you think that the White House is being dishonest with that?
Their cuts, they're downsizing. They want to misguide us about that, but this is an agency that, in particular this airport, has seen already tragic incidents where many people die. They should be beefed up to a level where everybody feels secure.
How do you feel about traveling out of DCA? I think some folks had looked at what had happened with the Army helicopter and the American Airlines jet, and what had happened with the rules involving helicopters not being able to traverse the Potomac near the airport there, that gave them a sense of, I guess, security, that things were going to be better with Reagan. After this has happened today, how are you looking at using this airport?
I mean, I thought about going Amtrak, and I do go Amtrak when the weather is bad. Yeah, this is kind of dangerous place right here.
Congressman, I want to make sure that our viewers know, I'm sure you do, but many years ago when Dulles was opened, the plan was for Reagan National ultimately to close, but at least my understanding and speaking to a lot of folks in the area and experts was that it remained open in large part because members of Congress wanted to use it for easy access to travel back to their districts. I wonder what your thoughts are about limiting the number of flights, maybe not closing Reagan National, but limiting the number of flights that are coming out of there. There's been a lot of pushback from members of Congress to do that.
Well, I don't know who has done that, but, it's a busy airport. Local people use it. They feel comfortable with it. I think there needs to be greater safety measures implemented, and you could only get there if you have full staff.
Yeah, and so if they're going to be looking at doing things, I mean, what is your message to other members of Congress who have resisted limiting flights and certainly are very loyal to the idea of using Reagan Airport?
I mean, safety should come first. Everybody's safety, obviously, beginning with the general public.